What's up, nerds? We are your hosts. I am Jake.
And I'm Chad.
This week we are sponsored by Ray's Energy Drinks.
We are also sponsored by Crybaby Craig's Hot Sauce.
This week we're going to talk about Glass Onion, a Knives Out mystery, now streaming on Netflix.
We'll also be talking about The Witcher Blood Origins, also streaming on Netflix. And we're going to get into some rumors and some wishful thinking for upcoming stuff. So, let's get into it. This is the All Things Nerd Podcast.
Nerd. Welcome back, nerds, to the All Things Nerd Podcast, your weekly dive into all things nerd. Chadley, how was your week?
Well, Jake Lee.
Doesn't work.
It doesn't. It was, this week particular had some ups and downs. We're not really going to get into the downs here because that's not our podcast. But also, I mean, it's been a couple of weeks since we've done an episode because of the holidays and stuff like that. So that part was good. You know, I had dinner with you and Nicole on Christmas Eve, which was very nice. It was a nice welcome. Had some vegan lasagna, which you, unbeknownst to you guys, made me feel more at home because that's what we always did for Christmas dinner. Was lasagnas and stuff like that. So that was cool. And I got to see my dad, which is pretty rad. And then other than that, you know, I just chilled.
Nice.
What about you?
Well, we had a pretty annoying house guest on Christmas Eve. No, I'm just kidding.
Dick.
Just kidding. I'm just kidding. I don't know. Christmas was good. It was kind of a lot, you know. My mom. There's Nicole's mom. There's Nicole's dad, and then my dad's side of the family. So there's a lot of Christmas, and you know, I'm not a Christmas guy.
For Christmases.
Yeah, it was a little rough. We made it. We survived the holidays.
Well, that's good.
Yeah, and as you know, everybody listening would know that today is January 1st. So Happy New Year.
Yeah, Happy New Year. And we
May
hope that
2023 not fuck you as hard as 2022 did.
really just the past like 3 years. Hopefully this is up and up, like Target brand. But also we just hope that everyone had, you know, good holidays. Whatever it is that you celebrate or don't. In sad news, in frustrating news, football today.
No.
Vikings got destroyed.
Yeah. It was a real bummer.
Went into the game super cocky because, I mean, the Packers have been sucking. You know, they were 7-8.
It wouldn't have hurt as much as it did if it wasn't the Packers that did it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it was still, up until the fourth quarter, it was a blowout. Like, let's be honest.
Yeah.
But, yeah.
It was real upsetting.
What was the final score? Like 17-41, something like
41, I believe, yeah.
that? Jeez.
Woof. I mean, most of the game it was we had a 3-point. That was it.
Yeah.
And everything else was just them dominating us. And then we got a couple touchdowns at the end in the last quarter, but it was too little too late.
Yeah.
Yeah. At that point, Green Bay had taken Rodgers out and put in their backup, and Justin Jefferson had been taken out, and it was just, I mean, yeah. We made regardless of how the game went, the Vikings are already in the playoffs. So,
Yeah.
whatever.
The Packers still have to win next week to even make the playoffs.
Make the playoffs, yeah. So,
And they're playing Detroit, which is, you know,
it's gonna be a
team.
good game. It's gonna
Yeah.
be a good game. Yeah,
Hopefully for Detroit.
hopefully.
I never thought I'd say it, but I'm rooting for Detroit.
Yeah. I just am so sick of whatever. I don't want to get into
Of Packers fans being like, look at our
that.
mediocre team that still does better than your team.
Yeah.
And even
Yeah.
today, like, whoa, we crushed you. It's like, yeah, good luck next week on not making the playoffs.
Yeah. We've also had, the playoffs locked down for a couple weeks here, so
Yeah,
whatever. Brag all you want.
yeah, just
Uh,
suck a dick. Sorry.
Oof.
Actually, I'm
Anyways,
not sorry. I stand by that statement.
we got beat. It was fair and square. Justin Jefferson, who's like our two best receivers, Justin Jefferson, Adam Thielen, between the two of them only got 15 yards, one reception each.
Yeah.
It was a rough game.
I mean, they were like double teamed the
Mm.
entire game. But I mean, seriously, to the point where, I mean, Dalvin Cook had more receptions than both of them combined,
Yeah. Yeah.
and more yardage from receptions than both of them combined. Like it would
Oh,
just,
you
it
already
was
put
bad.
the I went off script with the Happy New Year thing, and now I'm looking at the script, and you had it in there
Yeah.
for after talking about the Vikings. So let's go fuck myself.
Mahalo. I don't know what I'm doing. I have an itch on my arm, and I'm just like, "Mm." Well,
Oh,
I mean, we have a few things we want to talk about. It's going to be a pretty loose form episode this week because there's not a whole lot of like major nerd things going that happened the past couple weeks. So we have a lot coming up though, which is exciting. But let's just go ahead and get into our first sponsor, which is Raise Energy Drinks. You all know. You know. It's been a couple of years of this.
yeah, it's a
Um,
pickled habanero and garlic. It's still funny.
It's still funny. No, but great energy drinks. 0 calories, 0 sugar, 0 crash. If that's not your thing, they have so much more to offer, from protein to pre-workout to sleep aid supplements, cake in a cup, pancakes. Yeah, all good stuff. So listen up, learn how to save 15%. We'll be right back with you to talk about Glass Onion. What's up, nerds? I wanted to take a minute and talk to you about Raise Energy, an incredible energy drink that provides max energy with 0 crash. Raise Energy takes a giant leap of faith with instilling a high-quality formula to bring a powerful, yet sustained, energetic experience to help you push your workouts and focus to the next level. Perfect for anyone at any time, empowered by their Refresh formula technology, Raise Energy delivers a performance-enhancing energy drink that aids in multiple different categories that include targeted focus, better recovery time, improved clean energy levels, and a boost in stamina and hydration. But most importantly, every can of Raise Energy has absolutely 0 calories, 0 sugar, and 0 carbohydrates to give you a smarter and healthier option. So don't settle for an energy drink that contains more sugar and carbohydrates than you can count. Instead, head over to repsports.com. That's REPPSPORTS.com and use the promo code NERDPODCAST at checkout for 15% off your order. Or if you don't know what you want, go ahead and click the link that's in the description to get a $50 sample pack for free. All you do is you cover the cost of shipping. Again, make sure you use promo code NERDPODCAST at checkout to let them know that we sent you.
All right, friends, we are going to talk about Glass Onion, a Knives Out story, now streaming on Netflix. This is the follow-up to, you guessed it, Knives Out, starring Daniel Craig. It's a kind of a sequel. It's the same detective, but a different case.
Yeah.
Another star-studded cast, which is a lot of fun. We had Edward Norton, which is awesome.
Yeah. One of my
Oh,
favorite
shit.
actors of all time.
Same, yeah.
Kate Hudson.
Kate Hudson,
Janelle
Janelle
Monáe.
Monáe.
Yep, Janelle Monáe.
Yeah. Yeah. She is brilliant in it,
Yeah,
and
she rocked that role, and she's just an incredible musician too.
yeah, not too bad to look at
Yeah,
either.
she's also very pretty.
Um,
Dave
who else?
Bautista.
Dave Batista.
So random small. Oh, random. Uh,
Whoa,
Ethan
hey there, gang.
Ethan Hawke has a small cameo.
Oh yeah, that's right. So did Hugh Grant had a
Yeah,
small
Hugh
cameo.
Grant. Uh, just the we'll get into that, but on the side of cameos, there's some good ones in there.
Yeah.
And then Catherine Hahn obviously is in
hmm
it as well.
hmm
Um,
And I forget the girl's name in real life. I'm gonna actually look it up. But she's from Outer Banks. If you guys have watched any of that, it's on Netflix. There's 2 seasons out. She's
I haven't seen it,
the main female role in it. Yeah. Anyways,
but well, back to cameos then. While you're looking that up,
Madeline Klein.
Madeline Klein. Okay,
hmm
but it takes place during 2020, like during the lockdown.
hmm
Uh, and it's all these rich people trying to like survive, the lockdown. And it's first off, it's just hilarious, but we see like Daniel Craig like on a Zoom call, but also playing like the video game Among Us
hmm
with Angela Lansbury, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. Uh, who was the other person that he was on the call with? Someone else, and it's just super funny. Also, Yo-Yo Ma has a small cameo in it. The famous cellist helps solve a music puzzle.
Yeah.
Cool.
We missed kind of one of the main cast. Yeah, she was one of the main cast. Jennifer Henwick. She was in the Iron Fist
Oh,
show.
the girl that plays Colleen.
hmm
Yeah,
Yeah. Anyways, go on.
it's just very enjoyable.
Yeah.
I mean, it's fun.
I love a good murder mystery,
I did
and
too.
these are some of my. I liked the first one quite a bit, which is why I was super hyped for this one. Um, it did not disappoint.
No, not at all. It was great.
Yeah, kept me guessing,
Kind
threw me
of.
for a loop. Kind of. I did guess
It kept
some
me
stuff,
guessing.
but I definitely missed. I guessed wrong on a couple things, which we can get into. But it was a lot of fun. Again, like you said, Edward Norton's one of my favorite actors as well. So
Yeah.
that was awesome. And he hasn't been in like a ton lately, so it's kind of cool.
Hmm.
Um, fuck.
He's also like one of those uh, actors that I think is a better villain.
hmm hmm I agree.
It's great. However, in this, I mean, still, you know, he plays Elon Musk. Let's be
hmm
honest. Uh, Today's villain, you know. Uh, so it wasn't much of a stretch. Uh, Very believable. I thought going into it that he was going to be the one that died.
That was my original notion. Oh, spoiler alert!
Oh yeah, we never called it
Spoiler
up.
alert!
Oh
Okay, you've had enough time. That was also my original thought.
yeah,
Was he was gonna die, and then Blanc, Daniel Craig's character, would then have to figure out which of his friends murdered him.
yeah. Because the premise was that he was doing like a murder mystery weekend getaway for all of his rich friends,
hmm
where he was gonna be the victim. And so like going into it, I was like, he's actually gonna die,
hmm
and they're gonna think it's a game, and
Yeah,
Daniel Craig's gonna be like, no, this is real.
yeah.
Like,
This motherfucker's dead. Since we were talking about that off camera,
uh,
I know a prop head when I see a prop head.
oh my god. Booty sweat.
Bust a nut bar? But that's not what happened.
No, not at all. Uh, turns out that the original murder that set up the mystery happened off camera before this getaway. And then also, Dave Bautista kicks it.
Oh yeah.
Just such a dumb way. But it does provide one of the best one-liners ever. And it's from Kate Hudson's character, who's just kind of like a washed-up model, basically. Model, actress. You know, she's just dumb.
She's Kate Hudson. No, I'm just kidding.
Oh,
Just kidding.
I like
I
Kate
like
Hudson.
Kate Hudson. I do too. I was just joking. Sorry.
No, you're fine. I don't know why I'm like forgiving you for the joke. You didn't offend me with that. But Daniel Craig like points out that the way that Dave Bautista died was that he was basically like intentionally set into anaphylactic shock because he's allergic to pineapple. Someone put pineapple juice in his drink. And he's like, that's dumb. And Kate Hudson's like, it's so dumb. It's brilliant. He's like, no, it's just dumb.
Yeah, there's a scene in the beginning of the movie where they're all getting basically a
The cure for COVID.
yeah, and Batista is like, or his character is like, is there pineapple in that? I can't have pineapple. And then they give him the dose or whatever. And literally, I turned to my girlfriend and I was like, that's how he's gonna die. Like,
Pineapple.
it was just like right away. I was like, that's how he's gonna die. And,
Yeah.
sure as the Earth is flat, that's how it happened.
Wait a second. We can't be telling people the truth. They're all sheep. I'm just kidding. Neither of us believe that. One, that
It's
the Earth
all
is
the
flat.
all the
because
planets
That's
are
just
flat.
not. I mean, the Flat Earth Society can actually believe it if they say that they have members all over the globe. Like, that's on like their fucking About Us page.
Smart,
Yeah, so smart.
simple Jack.
But, Pa.
It makes my eyes rain. If you're not following us, I'm sorry. If you are, welcome
You're
to the joke.
But
Back
this,
to the movie. Yeah.
I mean, it's hilarious, and it's a great like in-depth like microcosm look at literally how like the elite are, like you know the one percenters, because and it goes
Like on
through
OnlyFans or
no, because
oh,
it seems like
my bad.
everyone's in the top 1% on that site. No, but I just gave away that, you know. I've looked at OnlyFans. Cool. Woo!
I haven't. I know what it is, but I've never spent a fucking dime on that shit. Sorry, bud.
I don't care.
Love you.
No, you're fine. I'm actually not really ashamed of that. But
Pornhub's
also,
free.
sorry, Mom.
Sorry, Mom.
Yeah. Oh, I know. But
I'm not saying I don't. Whatever.
yeah, moving on. But no, just like the super wealthy, how they will just go to like incredibly unethical lengths to keep their wealth and their status. And that's kind of what the real meaning of this film is, because the first one's very much about like old money, you know, like legacy and protecting
Inheritance,
that, and you know, not having to do anything to get rich, just waiting for, you know, the elder to die, so you get what's owed just for being born.
Did you catch the big parallel between the two movies?
That it's very much like fuck the rich.
Well, no, there's like a physical thing in both movies.
No, go on.
The painting. In the first movie, there is a painting of the guy who gets murdered, and at the end, and he's frowning in the beginning, and at the end of the movie, he's smiling. And then when they reference the Mona Lisa, they say that the reason that painting is so beautiful is because she's either smiling or frowning or following you like wherever you are. It was kind of a nod to the
Oh,
first movie. It was cool.
I did not catch that. That is really cool. Not a joke.
I know. It was cool.
It is super cool.
Yeah. So
What I mean, without going into too many details, when did you guess correctly who the killer was?
right away, as soon as they introduced him, as soon as this, and I'm not being cocky because I messed up horribly what the intentions were. But as soon as they introduce the killer, and we won't ruin it for anybody. Listen, or I guess maybe we probably will, but spoiler alert. Um, as soon as they introduced that character, I was like, that's that's definitely who it's gonna be, and that's when my mind kind of shifted on, okay, this person's gonna die, and then I was like, ooh, I don't know if that's who's gonna actually die. It's gonna be him who, oh fuck.
Well, we already said Dave Bautista
Yeah,
dies.
yeah. So
Yeah.
I nailed it right away. My reasoning was off.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie, it took me until like halfway through the movie. Like kind of majority of the story of them on this island plays
Should we just say who
plays
it
out.
is? We've already thrown out a spoiler
Yeah,
alert.
yeah. Ed Norton's the killer.
Yeah.
And we also talked about how we like him better as a villain anyways.
Yeah.
And then I
shit,
tried to
yeah.
backtrack it by being like, Elon Musk. Still
Yeah.
is. He still is Elon Musk, basically.
Yeah.
But he's also a killer.
Yeah. He's the murderer. But what was the real murder behind everything, Chad?
His former business partner, who was played by Janelle Monáe,
Whose name was Andy.
yeah, Andy or Cassandra, and then her twin sister's name is Helen, and that's who's actually been on the island the whole time,
Playing her sister.
playing her sister, because Ed Norton goes to her house and kills her because she has proof that he screwed her over, lied in court when they cut her out because they started this multi-million-dollar company together, and she got nothing. So she was basically going to expose him. He goes, kills her. Her sister finds out and is like, I know one of them from the court case killed her. We got to figure out who.
Yeah. And that was the super fucked up part too, is that basically Andy, Janelle Monáe's character, introduces Edward Norton to all of her friends. Like
Yeah.
she was friends with all this group of people that is now on the island, and he kills her. Before he kills her, he steals her company idea, and because he is now going to be rich, they throw her under the bus and call her a liar, so that they could, as they mention multiple times in the movie, is suck on his tit.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
Well, it's
so
because he
her
wanted to like push forward with this new R&D project that was incredibly dangerous, and she's like, "No, we can't put the entire company's like capital up against this. It would ruin us."
yeah.
And he's like, "Okay, well, goodbye. We'll get rid
Yeah.
of you, and then I'll just do it anyways
And then all of her friends went with him, and
because that's where the money was."
yeah, it was bullshit. But then he killed her because she had proof that she was the one who came up with it, and so
with
he murdered her.
the business, and that everyone, all
Well, she
the
had the
friends
napkin
that
with
testified. Yeah,
She had the napkin with her original like idea on it, and then
business plan. Yeah.
he provided a napkin and said, "I have the napkin," like blah blah blah. I'm the one who came up with it, and then yeah. Anyways, we're getting way off topic, and if
Yeah.
you haven't seen this, you're not following us. But so he killed her because she had the proof that it was her thing.
Yeah.
Um, and it gets pretty interesting because he is not the one who dies. At
Yeah.
his death
Party.
mystery party,
Yeah.
um, it's Batista that gets killed.
Because as far as everyone at the party knows, except for Ed Norton, Janelle Monae is still
Andy.
Andy, not her
Hmm.
sister Helen disguised as her because they were twins. So he's like shocked to see her. Edward Norton shocked to see her. Everyone else is like, "Wow, we didn't think you'd be here after everything that went down in court." But they don't know that she's dead.
Yeah, it hadn't hit. That was the big thing. As just like in the first movie, Knives Out, you don't know who hired Blanc, and until he reveals who hired him in the first movie, and then in this movie, it's the same thing. They're like Edward Norton's like, I didn't hire you. I don't know why you're here. Blah blah blah.
Yeah,
And then you find out at this pinnacle moment in the movie that you're talking about that Andy's twin sister hired him.
yeah.
And go on. Sorry.
No, and it just kind of so that's why Blanc is there. He wasn't
Hmm.
invited to this. She she technically wasn't invited, but her sister was. And so I kind of like lost my train of thought. But as it like goes through the flashbacks and stuff like that, I was like, okay, Ed Norton's the killer. That's like when I realized when it flashed back, and I was like, because I thought it was gonna be Andy that killed Ed Norton because the tension was there. You know, she
Hmm.
was the business partner that got screwed over. I was like, that's. But I was like, that seems very predictable.
Hmm. But that's what they do because they did the same thing in the first movie.
Yeah.
Yeah. They make you think like, um,
But also kind of like in the first movie, like the one that actually gets the inheritance. I thought it was going to be like that random dude Daryl, like actually had something to do with it, but he was just a dude that got stuck there when quarantine happened.
in Glass Onion.
Yeah,
Do you know who that guy was?
I wasn't paying too much attention to his face.
Another just random ass tie-in to the first movie. The two cops that were assisting Blanc in the first movie.
Yeah,
There is the guy from I don't know their names. I'm so sorry. I wasn't planning on saying this. But there was the African American guy who was in Get Out, and then the white guy.
yeah.
That was him, the white
Oh
guy.
no shit.
Yeah, that's who
Okay,
played that guy.
that's hilarious.
Yeah,
Because he's just like a stoner dude that was just like,
stuck there. Yeah,
yeah, stuck there because quarantine.
yeah,
Like,
fucking hilarious.
oh, it was so good.
Yeah.
And then like the big like aha gotcha moment, like in almost I mean the overall ending wasn't true like to like a Coen Brothers type film, but like it was like a you have no power here, like oh
Hmm.
what, it's your word against mine, like I can bury you with money, like and then but like that's the world that we live in also. It was a really introspective look at the elite, which is also terrifying because like we don't know what they're doing.
Well, and
Not to
that's
get like tinfoil hatty on it, but
one of the cool parts of the movie. Well, not cool. I mean, it was really. It just showed how shitty they were. Even after Edward Norton gets caught and he confesses to murdering Andy in front of everybody. He's like, "You got no proof."
and
Blah blah blah.
murdering Dave Bautista because he finds out that,
Yeah.
and then Bautista tries to blackmail Edward
Yep.
Norton to
Yeah.
getting him more money in like a position of power. Because he's
Yeah.
basically like a social media influencer, but he like wants to actually be on the air, like on
Yeah.
TV regularly.
But the group of people that are there, even knowing that he killed these people, are like, we didn't see shit. We're gonna stay where the money is.
Yeah,
And it's not until the end
when
after
they realize that there's no money that's going to
well
be
she
left after
she
this.
ruins him basically.
Yeah,
The whole idea behind the movie is the Edward Norton and Andy, or sorry, I forget what Edward Norton's character's name is, but Edward Norton's
Miles
character, Miles and
Braun.
Andy
Yeah.
come up with uh, how would you call it? A like light energy source,
Yeah.
but it's like unstable, and that's why Andy's like, I won't go forward with this
It's like the dry
until,
ice equivalent of hydrogen power.
yeah. And so in the end of it, Helen,
Yep.
was it? Yeah.
Also
Andy's
Janelle Monáe. Yeah.
twin sister, basically blows the fucking place up
Yeah.
using that element that they had created.
Well,
And at
and
the
he
end of
already
it,
had like his entire like island running on it. So like,
exactly,
but
yeah,
they mentioned throughout the, like as like the fuel burns, it just releases like hydrogen gas uh into the air, and I think it's Catherine Hahn's like, so literally it just creates like fucking a Hindenburg. You
yeah,
know, it's lighter than air but highly flammable. And
hmm
so yeah, Janelle Monáe like starts a fire and like throws a crystal of this compound into it and just
yeah. And essentially, basically, once she confronts Edward Norton at the end, because they don't kill him, he doesn't go to jail. There's no proof that they could like tie anything to him, because he gets destroyed. Uh, she basically says, "Hey, this crazy like $1 billion idea that you're writing everything on, uh, this is it," and it just blew up in your face, and the whole world is gonna see that.
and
In ac-
destroyed the Mona Lisa,
yeah, and destroyed the actual Mona Lisa.
which he like took out as collateral because he like lent money to the French.
Yeah, whatever. But yeah, and she's
Some
like,
billionaire
and
shit.
your thing that you're stacking everything against just destroyed the Mona Lisa. You're fucked.
Yeah.
And then all of Andy's friends are like, I didn't actually see,
Yeah.
this happen and blah blah blah,
Oh
and they
yeah,
start turning
I
on him.
saw the original napkin. I saw
Yeah,
him do this. I saw him say that.
again showing how big of pieces of shit they are.
Yeah.
But
The second
yeah,
that the money dries up, then they're like, "Oh yeah, that's my conscience." I don't really have too many cons about this movie. I thoroughly enjoyed it.
I did too. I thought, oh, let me run down my theory. My original theory was
Oh yeah.
um that all of them were in on it, that they knew that Edward Norton's character, Miles, had killed Andy, and her sister Helen had had looped them all in on it, to get him to confess. There's a
Hmm.
scene in the movie where Helen gets shot, but she gets saved because she has like a book in her pocket and the bullet doesn't penetrate. Um, and Blanc pours Jeremy Renner's hot sauce, not Crybaby Craig's. That was their mistake in the movie. That's my con. Uh,
Yeah. The color would have been off. It
but
would have been too orange.
yeah, yeah. But I thought that it was one of, because earlier in the movie for Edward Norton's like death for his fake murder mystery, he gets shot in the chest with a fake arrow, and there's like an explosion of blood that like spurts out. So I thought she was wearing one of those to pretend that she got killed, and then they were gonna get him to confess that he murdered Andy. That's what I thought was gonna happen. It's not what happened. Obviously, we already just told you guys everything that happened, but um, yeah, it was hot sauce, and I thought that was weird. But yeah, they did a good job. I don't
I
really
was
have a con.
wondering why they like made a big deal about the hot sauce like in that one scene.
I love when they show it though. Like
Yeah.
the label is like Jeremy Renner's face,
Yeah, and
and
it
like
says
I wonder,
like
is it a real hot sauce?
Renner Fire or something like that. I don't know.
Yeah,
We should find out.
yeah. But anyways,
Yeah.
great movie, fantastic. Hopefully, if you haven't seen it, you didn't listen this far because we just ruined everything.
Or
But
just still watch it because it's enjoyable. There's
yeah,
funny one-liners. The characters are so eclectic.
hmm
It's great.
yeah.
But want to know it's better than the fact that Jeremy Renner has a hot sauce?
we are sponsored by a hot sauce.
Tell them about it.
Yeah, that was good.
I
That
know,
was
I thought
good.
so.
I ruined it by saying that part, but that was
No,
good.
I thought so too. I think the fact that it's like explaining the joke, but it's still funny
Yeah,
afterwards. You
yeah.
know?
We just mansplained it to our entire audience.
Yeah.
Anyways, sponsor number two, Crybaby Craig's hot sauce. It's pickled habanero and garlic hot sauce that goes on practically anything, including Janelle Monáe. Listen up, we'll tell you more about it.
Hey, you nerds. Do you love spice? Supporting small businesses? What about enhancing the flavor of your favorite foods? If you said yes to any of those, our good friends over at Crybaby Craig's have the perfect solution for you. Crybaby Craig's is a pickled habanero and garlic hot sauce that goes perfectly with your favorite foods, adding the perfect amount of spice and enhancing the flavor of everything it touches. Started in Minneapolis by Craig back in 2012, Crybaby Craig's has become a Minneapolis and Minnesota staple in the sauce world. So head over to crybabycraigs.com and order yours today. Fucking dick. Okay, everyone. For this next part of the episode, we're going to be talking a I'm keeping in
It's
that.
better
I'm,
'cause
I'm
I got a
keeping in
better
that first part.
I got a better reaction the second time than the first time.
Yeah, I'm keeping that in.
Beautiful.
It's
Yeah.
funny. We're going to talk about The Witcher Blood Origins on Netflix. So,
This will be
spoiler
the
alert.
first and last time we talk about it.
Yeah, and we're just going to. I will probably eventually end up watching it just because I have a bunch of stuff to watch and some free time. But who knows if you're going to hear more about this because, spoiler alert, it wasn't that good. There's your spoiler alert.
It was rough. It was a tough one to get through.
It's nothing against most of the people that were involved in this.
No.
I say most because the showrunners clearly don't give a shit.
Yeah.
They just want to make,
Monet.
yeah, and it's. It starts off like Lord of the Rings.
Is a very Fellowship of the Ring copied. don't-
Narration, some
Yeah.
backstory.
Even like introducing like they don't call it the Fellowship, but even introducing like the group of people like
Yeah.
this is this person and they're this and here's this person and they're gonna be this. It was just like okay.
Yeah.
The acting was top tier.
I was gonna say not great. I have seen worse.
Which is kind of a bummer because one
I
of
think
the
it was just the
actresses-
writing more than
Yes,
anything.
yeah, exactly. I agree with that 100% because the one of the actresses is the girl and I don't know her name off the top of my head. I'll
Michelle
look it
Yeoh?
up. Is it from Everything
Yeah. Everything
Everywhere,
always
all
all
at
at
once.
once.
Yeah.
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 Also,
That's what made me want to watch it. I was like, "Oh, she's in this? Might not be bad."
also wasn't she in Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon? Isn't that her
Yeah,
also?
like back in the day.
Yeah. Like, she's been in a handful of things recently.
Yeah. That's what made me kind of hyped about it because I was like, when I heard about it, I was like, fucking a prequel.
Like I got that
yeah.
part kind of like threw me off, but I was like, hey, if it means that we get more like Witcher content, like I'm for it. And then Henry Cavill left, and then it was revealed why he left, and then I watched the first episode, and I was like, I get why he left.
Oof, yeah, it was rough.
There's not source material anymore.
Yeah.
They're just making shit up as they go. They're taking. It's like someone heard what the premise of the Witcher video game was, which is already. It's close to the books, but it's still, it's a deviation because it's a video game, so you have to like make your own way, but there's still like plot points that are true to the books. It's like someone explained the Witcher video game to the showrunners, and they're like, yeah, but what if we changed this and this and this? We're just going to use the terminology Witcher, and there's going to be elves and magic. It's like, sweet. So you're making like a Dungeons and Dragons?
Yeah.
But not true to Dungeons and Dragons either? Yeah, it's wild. And one of the opening scenes has Hoskir, the bard from the first two seasons of The Witcher. And the only reason that he's in it is to set up this flashback so he can write a song. Like, he's literally only a part of this to be the bridge that connects the two.
It was, yeah. I personally am not going to watch any more of it.
I probably will.
And that, like, takes a lot for me to ditch something after the first episode. Because, like, even Game of Thrones, after the first episode, I was not, the first season, I was not sold. I was like,
I was sold on Game of Thrones about halfway through the first season. I was like, okay. But also, I started watching it after season 2 was out. Yeah. So I was like, okay, I'm intrigued enough that I'm going to watch this so I can see where season 2 goes. It wasn't like I was watching it week to week. I was a little behind the ball to get started. The cinematography looks great. Like, I want to say something positive. Like, it looks good.
No.
The scenery, the
fight scenes are cool.
Yeah, there's a couple of things, like you pointed out. I didn't notice it myself, but you pointed out that one of the girls, I don't remember what her actual name is, but she's called the Lark. She's basically like an elf warrior that gave up her station to be a bard. But she is really good with like throwing knives. And you pointed this out to me, it looks like she just kind of like she put as much effort into throwing a knife as you would like throwing your cards down on a table when you're folding a hand of poker. Like, just like, fuck this. And then the knife is like, phew!
Yeah.
It kills a dude like across town. Like, the fuck? Yeah. So there's weird things like that. I don't know, man. Like,
I think it would take you watching it and then telling me to then continue on. Like, you would have to like sell me on, since you're going to continue to watch it, you would have to be like, hey man, it gets better, watch it. And then I would be like, no.
I think as of right now, the way that it stands is I would not be hating on it as much as I am if it wasn't tied to The Witcher. Because, I don't know, the premise of The Witcher is you're following a Witcher. Supposedly by the end of the season they create a Witcher, the first Witcher. But it hasn't happened. Like, and if they were to not tie it to The Witcher, and I mean still create a Witcher, but call it like a mutant, because that's like a slang term for the Witchers in the books and in the game and stuff like that. It's like, you're an abomination. Like, just don't. How is this part of the lore? It's not. Like, it's frustrating. I would like it a lot more if it was just like, check out this fantasy.
Yeah.
It's elves. They're fighting. They introduce monsters. It's about these rogues that are trying to save their heritage. Sweet. But I'm not thrilled. I'm not super excited, but I will end up watching it. Look at you just petting a cat.
Well, she left with all the animals. Had to settle for the cat.
You can't see. There's a cat sitting on the chair next to him, and Jake is allergic to cats and isn't a huge fan of this particular cat either.
Nope.
But he's over there showing it love. Was it because he scratched her chin a little too long?
No, it's just being a brat yesterday. Whatever. My girlfriend has the dogs over at her mom's house right now, and it's very quiet in here. So I brought the cat in here.
Saw her for a second. Her face popped up.
Can you see her?
No, her face popped up.
Let's see if I can get her. Cat, keep talking.
Well, there she is.
There she is.
There's the kitty.
She's the worst. All right, lay back down. But yeah, anyways.
All things considered, if you want to watch the show, obviously go watch it. Make your own opinions for yourself. We're not excited about it. And
this was a mistake.
It really comes down to it's just poorly written, which is weird because like they teased this show 2 years ago. Like they had plenty of time. Like they could have done better. But as we know from Henry Cavill stepping away and him being recast, it's because the showrunners just want to make money. They don't care about the source material.
Would you fucking stop? Is he being recast, though? Because I was reading something that they're going to give Geralt, his character, Henry Cavill's character, a heroic send-off. And I wonder if then Liam is going to play a different Witcher and not Geralt of Riviera, whatever.
If they do, they can't continue the story arc with Yennefer and Ciri.
Who cares? Yennefer is the worst.
No, I know. Again, that's showrunners doing.
Dude.
But, yeah, I mean, if they're going to give him a send-off and kill off Geralt.
I don't know that's just...
But, like, if that rumor is true, like, all bets are off, because the Witcher show takes place before the games. Oh, everyone needs to be watching this on YouTube, because Jake has a cat, a pussy in his lap, if you will, sniffing his blue balls.
She got off. All right, finally.
Sorry, Mom.
That's not sexual at all. If you want to see what we're talking about, go check it out. But anyways, yeah.
Let's get into some rumors and speculations.
Yeah. Didn't want to spend too much time on that. Sorry. No. Yeah. So, all right, the big one. We're gonna switch gears here. The big one, and these are just rumors. Nothing's confirmed. But I hope it's true. We are rumored to get Robert Downey Jr. back as Tony Stark in Secret Wars, Avengers Secret Wars, or Marvel Secret Wars, whatever. But yeah, whether it's Tony Stark at a different time, or a variant of Tony Stark, we don't know.
Yeah, because the Secret Wars is kind of going to be, the multiversal war.
Yeah. That
was, hinted at in Loki. Mm-hmm. I'm sure that we'll hear more about it in Quantum Mania coming out next month. Now you can say next month, Jake, and you're right.
Yeah, it comes out this month.
Next month,
yeah.
Yeah.
January.
Goose, blah, blah.
Yeah. The anger sharks are swimming in my head. You gotta dunk that shit. But yes.
As long as they do it in a way that doesn't take away from his death.
Yeah.
I think a variant would be better than like a pre-death Tony.
If they were gonna do a variant, I'm still really... I want Tom Cruise, Tony Stark.
I do too. I would rather that happen than RDJ come back,
Yeah.
only because of the gravity that his death had.
Hmm. Yeah.
I love RDJ. I think that he
Oh
is
yeah.
a perfect Tony Stark.
Hmm.
But because he is dead, I think that one, it's fan service.
I think it's
But
gonna. Well, I think they're gonna. It's gonna be. This is why I came to uh, the timeline part of it rather than a variant, is because this is what they're doing for Deadpool 3 is, they're gonna take Logan from a timeline before his death. So they're not
yeah,
messing with
yeah.
Logan's death in
Whether it's a
Logan.
well, we don't know for sure if it's again different timeline or a variant or like a different
See,
universe.
I again, this is rumored. We don't know shit. But it's rumored that uh Deadpool 3 will Deadpool will have Cable's time machine, and he'll be jumping around fucking with shit. And we know that he desperately wants Wolverine to be his friend.
Hmm.
So I assume he's going to like get Wolverine at some point before his death, and that's how their shenanigans are going to happen. But it's rumored that the TVA is going to get pissed about them jumping around, changing shit, and
Hmm.
that's where the tie-in to the MCU will happen.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and that makes sense, and that would be a good way to introduce Deadpool as well. But
I imagine something will happen at the end where the TVA basically convince Wade that uh Wolverine has to die like in his own timeline, and they'll return him to his timeline, so all the events of his life will have happened the same way that they did leading up to Logan. But this is just my theory. Because Deadpool is kind of immortal, uh he doesn't have a place in the timeline. You know what I mean?
yeah,
So I think the TVA is like that's how he's going to come to the MCU rather than being like, "Hey, like you have to go back to your timeline and live your events of your life this way because no matter what happens, you don't have an end to your timeline." I think
yeah,
they're going to be like, "Come here and help us," or something like, or he's going to be a shithead about it and just come there anyway and be
yeah,
like, "Hey, fuck this. If Wolverine's not gonna be here, I don't want to be here. Maybe I'll try this shit out." You know what I mean? Like, I don't know.
yeah.
But we also know that Ryan Reynolds said that he's not playing Deadpool anymore after this movie. So I don't fucking know what's happening with this shit.
I don't know if that's like I get it. He's a busy dude. He
Mhm.
has a lot going on. He's trying to build
An army
well
of
kind
children,
of well and just businesses, but yeah. His own sports team, mobile phones, alcohol,
pants, apparently
children,
now. Yep.
pants.
Yeah, there's like a thing now where he's got these like cargo pants kind of, but they look like slacks.
Interesting.
Either it's real or I dreamt it. Could be either. I don't know. I swear I saw it though.
Well, I mean, he's all over the place, so I mean,
Yeah.
and he's getting a little bit older. I'm
Mhm.
sure that he doesn't want to like
Yeah.
act forever, especially with how many children he has. I don't know.
Fuck them kids.
Yes. Uh, Also, another rumor that we got. So I didn't know how to transition from that one.
That's
Uh,
okay.
is that in Secret Wars coming up
Oh,
from Marvel is kind of like the one of the big bads is going to be the Beyond Burger. Sorry, the Beyonder, which is like a variant of Kang. You were telling me.
yeah. Yeah. It messes you up by being healthier for you, but you think
Yeah.
that it tastes the same as an actual burger.
It's like a mind fuck, you know?
Yeah.
No, but I mean that would be interesting to see
Mm-hmm.
because I mean we already know that there's variants because we were
Mm-hmm.
introduced to Jonathan Majors as He Who Remains. So
And
as long as they don't do like Battle Planet, you know, like they did in the comics in the '80s, but
I was gonna
actually
say,
explore like the multiversal war.
yeah, I was gonna say the biggest like hint, I guess, or confirmation, not actually confirmed, but confirmed, uh, is that in the Secret Wars comic issue 1, the Beyonder is a variant of Kang.
Yeah,
Um, and he calls himself the Beyonder. So, I think that's where they're going with it. We'll see. It's just a rumor
yeah,
at this point, but
yeah.
leading up to something called the Kang Dynasty, which is supposed to be the end game of,
I thought it was the other way around. I thought Kang Dynasty came first, then Secret Wars
Kang
rounds.
Dynasty is what it's all leading up to. It'll be all of Kang's variants against the Avengers.
Mm,
Yeah.
okay then.
Yeah.
That
So,
sounds. Everybody's fucking dying.
yeah. So, yeah. So knowing that the Kang Dynasty is like the end game of phase whatever, um, I'm thinking that it is very possible and plausible that Kang is going to pop up all over the place. So Secret Wars, I'm pretty sure that's going to be the main bad guy. Hopefully we get some more in Loki season 2. Hopefully we get some more Kang. I would love that. Um,
Yeah.
we know already Quantumania. We got Kang there. Like it's gonna be very. And Jonathan Majors has even said himself that we're gonna get so many different versions of Kang, like leading up to the Kang Dynasty, and he plays every version, which is amazing. But
Yeah.
it's gonna be wild when we get to the Kang Dynasty because it's gonna be one guy, but in different forms across
37
different
versions.
timelines.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's gonna be crazy. I'm so stoked for that.
Yeah, it's gonna be crazy.
hmm But yeah, so I'm pretty sure that that one is. I would say that that one is not. It's not confirmed, but I would say that that one's probably correct,
Yeah.
just based on the comic book.
I mean,
And
also like Nathaniel Richards.
Mhm.
I mean, we're getting the Fantastic Four, so why not have Nathaniel Richards, who he is a variant of Kang.
Mhm.
Same
if that
with
if that last name sounds familiar, there's a reason.
yeah,
Go on,
the
say
Richards. Yeah, you know that famous family of four.
it.
They're kind of fantastic.
Yeah, Reed Richards, if
Fan
you
Four
will.
Stick.
Yeah. It's
Credits roll.
his son, like whatever.
Yeah, him and
Yeah.
Reed Richards, Mr. Fantastic, Sue Storm, the Invisible Woman. It's their child. I was trying to play off of how terribly the reboot ended. Well, there's like four of us. We should have like a team name.
Oh,
Look at this
yeah.
place. The thing goes, "Oh, it's fantastic." Say that again. Flash a screen. Fan Four Stick. Credits. It was
Maybe
bad.
we'll get fucking Michael B. Jordan as a variant of. I did read a rumor. This is not something that we talked about, but I did read a rumor that we will see Chris Evans again,
But
but
as
it
Johnny
won't
Storm.
be, but as Johnny Storm, not as Captain America.
I
That
read
would
that
be
too, and
fantastic.
like a fan. It was kind of like a. I also read like a fan theory or a fan like cast for that, where like he comes out and he's like just like in regular like street clothes, and people are like, "Oh my God, Steve Rogers, like Captain America," like calling out for him, and then he says "Flame on," and
That would be dope.
Yeah.
That'd be dope. I would also love to see maybe they do, Michael B. Jordan and because I heard this again rumored. I read that Kevin Feige is like, let's go bigger than Endgame. Like, let's bring in everybody, past and present. Like,
It's
so maybe we'll get Michael B. Jordan, Chris Evans as both as the Human Torch from different, like maybe we'll get fucking Tom Cruise
I mean, there's
and
going to be
Tony
like
Stark.
19 Jonathan Major Kangs, so
Yeah.
why can't there be a Chris
And
Evans
then they
Human
just
Torch?
murder
And,
everybody and like reset,
yeah,
going
it's a
into
great
phase
way to get
six.
rid of the Fox universe.
Yeah.
Just kill everyone.
Kill them. Kill them all.
Nope.
I would. I
No,
would.
I was gonna try and make a joke, and then I was like, that seems very Kanye, so I stopped.
I
Uh
don't even
huh.
want to know.
Yeah.
I'll ask you after.
Yeah. Well,
ask
I'll tell you
after.
afterwards. Let's skip the next one just because we've been going for a hot minute here.
No, I think that one's important because that's going to
That-
come up soon.
Yeah, you're right. Okay, you're
Yeah.
right. Go, take it away.
The how do you go into this after that? Well, we've been complaining for a very long time that after the events of the Eternals, there is a giant monster robot sticking out of the ocean. And
It's
we're
been
like,
turned
why
to
the
stone.
fuck? Nobody's talking about that. And they kind of mention it a little bit in She-Hulk. There's like a news clipping of it. Um, but we know now, going into the Thunderbolts movie,
Again,
that
rumored.
rumored
Heavily
that,
rumored, though.
sorry, we don't know now. We know that there's a rumor that's correct.
Yeah.
Okay.
I get where you're trying to go. I was just
Yeah. Picking up what I'm putting down.
yeah.
But yeah, so this is basically going to be an island now. It's going to be grown over. There's probably vegetation growing, shit
Well,
like
it
that.
came out of an island that had a volcano, so like there's
Yeah.
already a cluster of islands. But I think by this thing emerging, it's kind of like connected the small chain of islands that's just
Yeah.
like random.
The rumor is that this is where adamantium is going to come from. For those of us who follow Marvel, is they've been calling adamantium, fuck, what's it called? The other metal,
Vibranium.
Vibranium, because they didn't have the rights to adamantium, which is a very X-Men thing. So now we're thinking we're going to get adamantium from this island, and they're going to be mining it out of the core of this island. People are going to be fighting over this, and they're going to send in the Thunderbolts to neutralize the situation on this island. We also think that this is where our mutants are, not where they originate from, but this is where we're going to get our proper introduction to mutants in
Yeah, the
the
rumor
MCU.
in theory is that this island chain plus the celestial body that's now, like you said, kind of like overgrown with vegetation and stuff like that, will be Genosha.
Mm-hmm.
If that sounds familiar, it's either because you've read comics or watched the 90s X-Men show. It's kind of like the safe haven for mutants that Magneto kind of like runs, governs, whatever. Which would be cool. And I mean, I did look it up at one point in time because of the rights differences where they had like vibranium and adamantium. They had to make a distinction. Basically, vibranium is like the raw material, where adamantium is like the hardened metal only version of it. I don't know. But what were you gonna say? I saw the look on your face.
I just remembered I saw a clip recently from Quantumania, and they show Ant-Man interacting with Ultron.
What?
Yeah. I should have sent it to you. I'm so sorry.
Yeah, you should
I'll
have.
find I'll find it. I'll find it and send it to you.
Fucking
I will. When
Diok.
we're done here, yeah.
Yeah.
But
But I mean, that would be cool because I mean, we know that mutants already exist.
mhm.
Black Panther 2, Namor
Miss
is,
Marvel.
and Miss Marvel, because they don't want to be tied to Inhumans at all.
Yeah. Multi
Can you blame 'em?
Multiverse
But
of Madness. We got Professor X.
yeah, and literally they say the leader of the X-Men, but that's also a different universe. But in the main MCU universe, we know that mutants are there now.
I annoyingly yelled out while we were watching that movie in the theater. I was like, "Oh, they're playing the X-Men theme." When he like rolled out. I was like, "Oh,
I remember. I was sitting next to you.
yeah."
Uh,
Uh,
and then just a fun little throw out is that '90s show is coming.
mm,
Is it going to be on Netflix or Hulu? I think it's Netflix.
Netflix.
Yeah.
Netflix. Yep. Which is now if you remember that 70s show, this is their kids. This is Eric and
It's
Donna's
it's
kids.
the Fuller
It's-
House or the Girl Meets World, but I
Yeah.
hope that
Yeah.
it's better than both. Because
Yeah.
both like had its moments. I didn't watch either of them fully, but like both had like their
I did
moments.
watch Fuller House through all the way through.
Did you?
I did, yeah. I was a huge Full House fan when
I
I
was
was a kid.
too, but I only watched like
Yeah.
the first like 3 or 4 episodes of the first season, and I was like, I've had enough.
I did not watch. I'm actually kind of surprised at myself that I didn't watch Girl Meets World because I loved Boy Meets World growing up. No,
Same. I did too. But
I don't even know that I'll watch this, honestly.
I'll watch the first episode, maybe the first 2. I'm expecting it to be just fan service for a younger generation, but with
The
enough
preview
fan
does show everybody except the rapey one are coming
Hyde,
back
yeah.
for it. Yeah. Thanks. Ashton Kutcher, Mila Kunis, Topher Grace. Oh God.
I always
Uh,
forget her name. Donna.
Donna. Laura Prepon.
Yes.
Yeah. And
Gray
Wilmer,
Prepon, if you will.
Wilmer Valderrama. They're all reprising their roles. I don't know if it'll be like permanently or just to introduce.
Kind of
the
like in
show.
Fuller House.
Yeah, they just pop in here and there. But yeah, it's interesting. I loved the show growing up, so
So did I. So,
let's see what happens.
yeah. So just keep that on your radar, I guess.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, let's go ahead and close out this episode, shall we, Jake?
Okay, bye. Just kidding. But before we do, we are gonna talk. Before we close out, before we close out, we are gonna talk about our honorable mentions. Chad, what do you got?
Well, I mean, we have a couple of weeks here, so I'm trying to think what I have watched. Well, it was super ambitious of me. I tried to. It didn't even work out because we did stuff on New Year's Eve. But I wanted to get through the MCU like timeline so I could watch Endgame. As it turns over. I wasn't actually gonna like time it so that the snap happened at midnight, but didn't even get close. Got to like Guardians of the Galaxy 1. It was super good planning on my time. No, but I've been watching Jack Ryan. Season 3's out now. That's fantastic. Since we recorded last, I did watch Violent Night finally.
Woo!
Oh my god.
The table talked about it last night
Yeah.
at dinner. Yeah, we were all talking about it.
That might be one of
As
my
soon as we brought it up,
favorite.
everybody was like, "Oh, I love that fucking movie."
That might be my new favorite Christmas film.
Yeah.
What about you? What do you have for some honorable mentions?
The notable ones are Hunters. If you're not watching Hunters, go watch it. It's on Amazon Prime. It's so fantastic. It's Logan Lerman and Al Pacino. It's set in the 1970s, and they are a group of Jews that are hunting down and killing Nazis that escaped to America after the war. It is so fucking good. Oh my God. Anyways, other than that, we finished the first season of that, and then we just started Jack Ryan season 3, also on Amazon, or yeah, on Amazon Prime. Fantastic. Loved the first 2 seasons. I'm loving this season. And the other ones are I am in anticipation for the new one coming out. I am forcing Nicole to watch the Mission Impossible movies with me. We finished the first two. We have four more to get through before Mission Impossible Dead Reckoning Part 1 comes out. So
Oh.
we're catching up on those right now.
What is? It's hard to pick a favorite Mission Impossible. At least for me, it is. What's
Mm.
your least favorite Mission Impossible?
The s- Ooh, that's tough. It's probably a tie between the second and the third one. I love the first one, fantastic. The second one was good, but it was a John Woo film, and John Woo kind of does like over the top action sequences that just aren't practical. Um,
Oh, like a 6 foot slide through sand to kick up a gun straight up and then catch
straight,
it
yeah,
behind your back.
straight into yeah.
Yeah,
Or
we all know that scene.
like going head first at each other at like 60 miles an hour with no helmets on motorcycles and crashing into each other and being totally fine. Yeah.
Hmm.
Uh, the third one I didn't care for a ton, but I love Philip Seymour Hoffman.
That's where the hang up comes for me too.
And he plays such a good bad guy in that movie, and the action
Yeah.
was really, really good. But on the opposite side of that, my favorites are definitely Ghost Protocol, which is the fourth one, and it's got to be the Fallout with Henry Cavill as the bad guy.
Yeah,
That one was really good too.
that one is really good.
Yeah, so I'm stoked about the because it's the last two in the series.
Yeah.
It's Dead Reckoning Part 1 and 2, and uh, Haley Atwell is in those.
Oh,
So that's pretty cool. Yeah.
I did not know
You
that.
don't know who that is, that's Agent Carter from the Captain America movies, and
Yeah.
also Agent Carter.
Yeah.
But yeah. So those are my honorable mentions. Go watch everything that we just mentioned because we only mention shit that we think you guys should watch.
Or we tell you if
Or
we
we tell
mention
you,
it, we're
hey.
like, hey, maybe don't.
Yeah. Go watch it.
Yeah, go check it out. Yeah, they're
Especially Hunters. This is my favorite thing. There's only two. The second season just dropped, and it's my favorite thing on TV right now. And Jack Ryan. Jack Ryan's really good, but
yeah.
Hunters is better.
I haven't started Hunters yet, so I will definitely be watching that.
Yeah.
Well, outside of that, I mean, we love you all. Thank you for sticking around. This is, I guess, technically, we don't have like an actual structure for our seasons. We're just kind of going it by year. So this is officially season 3. We appreciate you all being here. And if you like what we're doing, support us, or as Jake likes to say,
Give us your money.
yes. The best ways to do that is through buymeacoffee.com/allthingsnerd. It allows you to subscribe on a monthly basis. You get some behind the scenes stuff, some bonus materials, some exclusive merch depending on the level that you give at.
Or you can
A
do
chance to
one-time
be-
donations.
Or you can do one-time donations. Yeah, you can literally. It's called buy me a coffee, but I changed the button on it so it says buy us a beer. So you can buy us a beer if you want. If you don't want to do that either, but you still want to get something out of it, allthingsnerdpodcast.com is where we have our web store. It's a great way to support us, get some merch, everything that we make at this point in time goes 100% back into the show. It allows us to do giveaways, which we have one coming up. We just haven't hashed out a date or the exact parameters behind it, but it's going to be a good one. And then, I mean, just like, subscribe, share the show. I mean, wherever you listen to podcasts, on YouTube, Apple Music, Spotify, those are kind of the big ones. Or just like, you know, follow us on Instagram. Tell us we're funny. Because we are funny, damn it.
Or just like talk to us. Like
Yeah.
we love interacting with you guys. So if you got questions, you want to know bullshit about something, or I love
If you
this.
disagree with
if
us.
if we're wrong about something or you disagree with us, call us the fuck out. I would love to have a discussion about it. So
Yeah.
yeah.
And depending on how well
Wrong you are?
or how well you school us, we might even ask you to be on the show.
Yeah.
Anywho's, we love you all. Thank you so much. Happy New Year's. We hope you had a great holiday season. And this has been the All Things Nerd Podcast.
Think.